went in earnest, thinking that we would be able to avert a strike. The gravity of this move is not lost on me or our negotiating committee or our board members who have voted unanimously to proceed with a strike. It's a very serious thing that impacts thousands, if not millions of people all across this country and around the world.
Welcome back to another episode of Jaja's Atelier. I'm running a little late. I wasn't feeling well this weekend and I had a little minor injury, so we're back on a Monday. What we gonna do? I started today's episode with Fran Drescher's speech pertaining to the writers and actors strike. Now, a lot of you guys know Fran Drescher. She's everybody's favorite nanny, iconic beauty and style icon as well. But she is now the president of SAG, which is the Screen Actors Guild. And I just love everything that she said. She was so passionate. You could tell that she really cares about the little guys in this business. And a lot of people might think watching this, like, you talk about fashion, this is kind of off brand for you, but I have an obsession with just Hollywood and how all the business works. And it does affect fashion. You have to think there are stylists on all of these shows that you guys watch. There are hairstylists, there are wardrobe stylists, there are makeup artists, there are the craft service people, producers, lighting people. A lot of these people, if not all of them, will lose their jobs because of this insane greed, and fashion will or won't take a hit. I know that this could affect the Emmy Awards. Are people going to go to the Emmys? If they're not going to the Emmys, a lot of smaller designers count on, some big name celebrities to wear their garments at these kind of events. So we don't know what's going to happen. I remember when I was in high school, the first writer's strike in 2007 of our lifetime that really just brought the onslaught of reality television. Like, Girlfriends got canceled. All of our favorite sitcoms and shows got canceled. And then in comes like stuff like Love and Hip Hop, Jersey Shore, because they just couldn't get anybody to write the way they needed to for, to make more sitcoms. So it's a really trying and sad time, and especially when reality TV is still ruling everything. Like, what's next to come? This world is just getting really, really crazy. But like I said, it's been a long week. It wasn't a long weekend for me. I was in the bed. I wasn't feeling well. And I finally started feeling better around Saturday afternoon. So I plopped myself up, went for a quick trip to the thrift store. I found some really, really great pieces. Really good pieces. I'll be showing those on my Instagram later this week. So other than that, let's get into our hot topics of the week. Well, of last week. We're running a little late. Okay, so first order of business. Now, we all have seen Beyonce giving look after look after look on her Renaissance tour. I mean, I think she has every major fashion house tapped for this tour, if I must say so myself. We've seen her in everything. Just David Coma, Off-White, Richard Quinn. We've seen her in everything. Well, she recently just took a break to celebrate her husband, Mr. Carter's new exhibition being held at the New York Public Library. It's just such a beautiful exhibition of his life and his career. I hope I get a chance to see it. It's a very historic moment. I don't think there's ever been a Black entertainer who's had their own exhibition at the New York Public Library, which is one of the most well-known libraries in the world. And also, they have his lyrics written on the front of the building, which I thought was really cool. And I mean, I hope I get a chance to go see it. I'm planning a trip to New York very soon, so hopefully I will get to go. But honey, his wife, Mrs. Carter, turned heads in this sexy, business chic Laquan Smith look. I just loved this. I loved it. I love the high ponytail. She just, is it me or is she aging backwards? She looks younger than she did 10 years ago. Lately. Beyonce, what you doing, girl? But yeah, so this, I love to see that his daughter, Blue Ivy, is growing up right before our eyes. You know, so this was just a really great moment. I wanted to touch on this because this is just monumental. And I'm glad that we're starting to understand the importance of giving our icons their flowers while they're still here. So I just thought that was just amazing. All of his magazines, all of his magazine covers, all of his records, awards, just everything of Jay-Z, Big Jigga Man in one place, honoring his life and career and legacy. I just thought it was just absolutely stunning. And I thought she looked stunning as well. Next order of business. Let me look at my notes. I'm just getting back into the flow of things. Oh, the Dolce and Gabbana Automoda show in Italy. Guys, I liked this collection a whole lot. I liked the one that they did last year better, but I liked this one. I really did. My favorite girl in the world, Miss Kim Kardashian, stole the show. A lot of people online were saying that this was her best look ever. A lot of people that I noticed don't typically care for Kim. Or do they? I thought she looked beautiful. I thought this was the hair and makeup. It really gave me old school baby Kimberly. Like when she first came out, even like pre-Kanye. Like just how glamorous and just over the top this look was. This color on her is absolutely breathtaking. The legs, the body, the hair, just everything. Just her stylist, Danielle, is a genius. I really love this look. I love this look. I also loved Miss Scandal. Kerry Washington, she stunned. I love that she went with braids. I mean, honey, these two were my best dressed for the whole collection. And huge shout out and congratulations to Dolce and Gabbana on this amazing collection. I really loved this one. Not as much as I loved the one last year, but this one was really good. Also, Keke Palmer is on the cover of The Cuts, wearing interior NY. Honey, let me tell you something about Miss Keke Palmer. Miss Keke Palmer is the voice of a generation. I'm not going to touch on that drama with her baby daddy because that was just petty and penniless. But she is just really doing the damn thing. I haven't had a chance to read the article yet. I'm probably going to read it later on tonight. But I just love the spread. She looks so beautiful. That baby added. She was already beautiful pre-baby. But post-baby, honey, she's a different woman. That body, that face, that extra, just that extra little bit of weight that she had on, that this baby has put on her is just, it's all going to the right spots. Keke, keep on doing you, honey. Also on the cover of The Cut, we have the beautiful America Ferrera. I don't know if you are my age, we were obsessed with America Ferrera. Ugly Betty on ABC. What else was she in? Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. How could you not love that? With Blake Lively, right? She is wearing Jill Sadler on the cover. You know what? I haven't seen her in a while. She's going to be in the new Barbie movie. I haven't seen her out and about in Hollywood in a while. But with the way Hollywood is cutting up, I don't think that's such a bad idea. But she just looks absolutely beautiful. She looks so stress-free, so happy. Looks could be deceiving, but I don't think that's the case here. She's just so, I just always loved her. She's just so lovable. What's not to love? Next up on the agenda, what do we have here today? Okay, we did the Barbie premiere. Okay, so let me get into this. I used to play with Barbies when I was a kid, much to my parents' chagrin. They used to hate taking me to the store, toy store and buying me Barbies. But are we overdoing it? Are we overdoing the Barbie thing? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I know last week on my Instagram I had posted that I was going to do my own Barbie look, but the pieces that I had cut up and destroyed to make it just wasn't really working. So I'm going back to the drawing board on it, but I'm only doing it because everybody else is doing it. But I have to say, for the movie's premieres all across the world, honey, Margot Robbie is fucking killing it. I've seen her in Archive Moschino. I've seen her in Archive Valentino. We have seen her in Chanel. We have seen her in Vivienne Westwood. This is my favorite. The Vivienne Westwood look. It's inspired by not Solo Spotlight Barbie, but Enchanted Evening Barbie. I have the side-by-side here. Andreas at Vivienne Westwood nailed this. Okay, nailed this. I also loved her Schiaparelli look, which was inspired by Solo Spotlight Barbie. Again, nailed it. These references are so perfect. But I did think there was other places that they could have went, other houses that they could have went and dug a little deeper. I would have loved to see her in maybe a vintage look by Nicole Miller. I've been obsessed with 90s Nicole Miller lately. I don't know what it is, but she had the girls on lock in the 90s. I mean, seriously, look her up. But honey, and also Issa Rae was at the premiere wearing this beautiful, I love Mark Bauer, and this dress is by Mark Bauer. Mark Bauer just has, there's just a magic to his clothes. And again, I don't know if this is archive or he custom made this for her. I'm not quite sure. I looked all over the internet to find out. Couldn't find anything. But Mark Bauer has dressed some of the most iconic women of all time. Whitney Houston being one of them. She was, you know, that was one of her go-tos. So I love this look on Issa Rae. Who else? Who else killed it? Let me look at my notes. Oh! Dua Lipa in Versace La Vacanza, honey. That's the new collection that she co-designed with, or guest designed and co-designed. Excuse me, I'm tongue-tied today. I'm still getting over my sickness. Bear with me, honey. That she co-designed with Donatella Versace. This was Barbie all the way. This was Barbie all the way. It's also, she's sticking with the Barbie aesthetic, but she's also giving us Y2K nostalgia with the butterflies, made famous by none other than Mariah Carey, darling. You know, that was her thing back in the day, back in her charm bracelet era, the butterfly era. She always rocked the butterflies. I always attribute the butterfly motif with Mariah, but Dua Lipa's been killed. She's a fashion girl. I think she just should give up on the music and just be a model and a fashion designer. I like her music though. Dance the night away. You know, I like her music, but honey, I live for her looks way beyond. Way beyond. The stylist for Margot Robbie during her press tour for the Barbie movie is none other than, let me see here. Andrew McConnell? Andrew McConnell. I think that's how you pronounce it. I forgot to mention that. He's just, shout out to you, Andrew, because you have been slaying Miss Robbie, okay? Also, for the Barbie premiere, I want to touch on the beautiful chocolate drop, young black excellence, Miss Sky Jackson, who was wearing George Caboria, I believe it's called. Is how you pronounce it. This was given not only Barbie, but it was given Clueless. She is just so fucking gorgeous. I remember seeing her on the TV when she was just a little girl, and now she's like a grown woman. Like, all the people that I looked at that were little are now grown. Like, even like Blue Ivy, everybody's growing up so quick. Time is really flying. But I love this look on her. I loved it. Is it not giving Stacey Dash and Clueless? Have we forgiven Stacey Dash yet? Is she invited back to the cookout? I don't know. But yes. Also, today was a quick show, but I'm going to end today's show with a bit of sad news. French singer and actress Jane Birkin passed away. I found out earlier this morning, actually right before I started shooting this episode. For those of you that don't know who Jane Birkin is, honey, Jane Birkin is a French style icon. She brought, I believe, she is one of the forefronts. Is that the right way to say it? One of the four women of what we now are calling quiet luxury. Such a beautiful spirit. And also, if you don't know where the story behind the Birkin bag, this is the lady. She tells the story in an interview that I recently saw online, where she was on the plane and she had a Birkin bag, well, a Hermes bag, because at the time Birkins were not invented yet. She was on the plane. She said the stewardess bumped her up to first class, and as she got up, all of her shit fell out of her Hermes bag. And the man said, the man was talking to this man. She said that she didn't know was talking to her about the bag, and you know, she was like, maybe if it had a little bit of pockets, a couple of pockets. I need something that's bigger than this, but not as big as my suitcase because it's too heavy to carry. And he said, you know, give me your, what did she call it? She called it an itinerary, which I guess in, you know, that's what she refers to as her bag. And lo and behold, the man who she was talking to was none other than Mr. Hermes, and he made the Birkin bag after her. In later interviews, you also see her saying that she never actually carried a Birkin bag or really owned one, because she thought it was ridiculously priced. And I thought that was really funny. I saw a lot of people online in the comments, you know, the blogs had posted that she had passed. And a lot of people were like, well, who is that? Who is that? And a lot of these people claim to be, you know, they have Birkin bags and Hermes bags. How do you own a Birkin bag and not know who Jane Birkin is? I'm sorry if I'm being a little bit pretentious, but, you know, we're in an era of fashion where we use labels and brands to weaponize people who can't afford them necessarily. Or, you know, oh, you don't have a Birkin bag. I was once on a live, I hope I don't get in trouble for telling this story, but I was once on a live, and the girl that was doing the live was kind of like, does anybody shop on AliExpress or DHgate? And I was like, hell yeah, I shop on AliExpress, honey. I buy the bags and the costume jewelry. And, you know, I'm a girl on a budget. I'm a two-time homeowner. You know, bills, times is hard. Not everybody has, you know, $2,500 to drop on a bag, honey. And so she kind of reamed me about it. And it really just, she was like, I can't respect a bitch that wears a fake bag or shops off AliExpress or something like that, she said. And she went on to just post and just kind of make a mockery of my transparency, which I thought was kind of stupid. But I see a lot of people doing that, but the people that use brands as a means to shame others don't even know anything about the brand that they're wearing. They know nothing about the brand that they're wearing. They don't even know half the time what country the fashion house is based out of. And I just think, you know, fashion should be about freedom of expression. It shouldn't be so pretentious. And look at Jane Birkin. Jane Birkin was a free-thinking, laid-back, easy-going, easy-breezy type of a chick. She wasn't, yeah, she was in that world, but it didn't define her. She defined it. It didn't define her. Most of the time when I see pictures of Jane Birkin, she's carrying like a basket. She used to carry a basket everywhere she went. And which I see a lot of girls wearing, you know, basket woven handbags now. And every time I see one, I think Jane Birkin. I think of her for that before I think of her about the Birkin bag. So to anybody watching, if you have the blessing of being able to afford certain things that other people can't afford, don't use it as a way to tear somebody down. Fashion is not a competition. Not for me anyway, and not for the people I associate myself with. Fashion is the gift of freedom that just keeps on giving. And I think we all need to remember that, especially in times when most Americans don't even have $500 in their bank account in case of an emergency. We are in trying times. Let fashion be fun and not so pretentious, because that's what I think the beautiful, iconic Jane Birkin would want. Anyway, I rambled, but I just had to get that off my chest. But yes, that was today's episode. It was quick. We will be back next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about because, I've been seeing the news today. Creative directors are leaving their houses left and right. Who knows what's going to be going on by next Friday. But I will see you then. It was a pleasure. Ciao.